So we have our guest on the phone. Tonight we have writer-director Sean Murray.
Woo! Sean's in the house.
Hello, Sean.
I am Sean Murray, and I'm here with Bill Marsh. We are MDMN Films.
Hey!
What's happening?
Happy to have you on the cast. How are you guys doing
Yes.
We're doing very well.
So, we're definitely going to jump into the questions here, Sean. As a writer and a director, what inspired you to write this film, Intermix?
I love the blood and guts. I love dead things. I'm a very creepy guy.
Now, for the viewers, can you give us a little synopsis of what the movie's about?
The movie is about quite a few things wrapped up into one. There's a lot of different elements of horror to it. It follows a serial killer who's being pursued by an insane cop who's portrayed by Bill Marsh, who I'm with tonight. Along the way, we see a bunch of other things. We see another side of life, or we see the afterlife, if you will. It's got two sides to the story, a living world and a dead world to it. And it follows different characters and life and death.
That sounds really interesting. I'm definitely gonna check that out for sure. You always gotta love a story of where a killer is being chased by an officer, especially if he is a little bit out there, a little crazy, you know, like that. You know, that was a thing that was really fun about the Dexter series, was the whole relationship between him and Dukes, where it was like, you know, the guy's just losing it. So that sounds really great.
Yeah, I like that a lot, the suspense. I loved how some of your description is like blood-soaked tragedy is what you can say your movie's about.
It is a tragedy. It follows a dead girl's flight through life and death.
That's awesome. Now, as the director, was there any good stories you could tell us that happened on set that was just unexpected?
Oh, there were a lot of stories that went unexpected.
Any you could tell?
Let's see. We shot in graveyards. As such, it didn't go too easy sometimes. A couple of tombstones got knocked down in the process. Whoops.
Now, you got that all on camera, right?
Unfortunately, no, we did not.
Oh, no!
I mean, it's less to implicate you in, so...
That's true. Now, for, like, when you do your writing of your horror productions, do you have, like, a place that you go to write, or does it just come to you in a dream and that's how you start writing? Like, how do you get your ideas?
Ideas come to me all the time. It doesn't matter where I am. They just do. They flow through me, and they have for as long as I can remember. I've been into horror for pretty much my whole life, and yeah, an idea will come. I write all kinds of things. I write stories, I write screenplays, I write songs, and my brain is wired to that. It's always active, and I can't shut it up, really, is kind of how it goes. But when I write, I tend to prefer kind of grungy environments. I like places like garages or basements or abandoned buildings.
That makes a lot of sense, you know, to give you that atmosphere of writing.
Put you in that headspace.
Yeah, exactly, because I couldn't see myself sitting in, like, a Starbucks trying to write something on horror, you know? That being said, have you ever tried writing different genres, or are you just strictly horror?
Pretty much, I stick with horror. That comes to me the best. Some stories that I've written outside of that are more dramatic, or crime, which I kind of find leads to horror anyway. Yeah, I have a dark mind for the most part. There is one tale that I have that's more of a direct drama, but I have yet to write that one. I think that would happen when I'm old.
Now, in all of the films that you have created, have you done any cameos in them?
In Interment, I do act as the Man in Black. I started out acting, and that's how I learned the field, and everything that went into it was through acting.
Are you still like more in the acting brain, where you would like to write yourself like into like the lead character?
No, I like to direct more these days. I have not had an idea that I would really feel comfortable with being both behind the camera and in front of it at the same time. I think that you would lose focus on one end and the production would suffer. That's just me.
Now, as you're the director, the writer, Sean, which one do you like the most?
I like both. I like writing. I find a lot of peace when I do that. I like directing. It's more chaotic madness, but it's fun to do. But yeah, to answer the question, it's really hard to say what I like to do more. I write more because there's more time to do so. I have more time to do that. I write generally most nights.
Now, what would you say is one of the most difficult parts of directing?
Operating on the independent level, I would say that getting everybody that I need together in one place at one time has been the greatest challenge. It's just a matter of timing, you know, the right timing.
So, for directors out there who are still trying to get their films produced, what would you say to someone who is trying to, like, they have the script and they're trying to get to the next level where they're going to be shooting it? What would you tell a newbie, I guess, in this industry?
Like, what advice could you give to somebody wanting to get into directing?
What I would say would be to reach out to some people that do this kind of stuff and try to get on a set or two, you know, to see how it all goes down. And look at all the components that you're going to need to put together the equation and take it from there, you know, using what you know, and reaching out to the best people that you know, and, you know, and just doing it from that point. By any means necessary. You could shoot things on so many different devices now that we're fortunate to be in this time right now where technology is relatively cheap and you can acquire or rent the pieces that you need to put something together and just do it. Just do it, you know, because, you know, whether it's going to be good or bad, you know, you're always going to improve as you move along.
Mm-hmm.
I would also add, one thing I learned during the filming process was to not cut unnecessary corners and not rush your process and lose sight of your original idea. I think that's very important.
So, Bill, for you, can you tell us a little bit about on the acting side of things, how it is on set with Sean?
Working with Sean, I'm very comfortable with. I've known Sean pretty much all of my life. You know, we've done artistic projects together since we were kids. So acting with Sean was pretty easy to adapt to. And we have a lot of fun, you know. We spend a lot of time together. We're a pretty good creative force.
Now, are you strictly a horror actor, or do you also do other genres?
I like to stick with horror for now, you know. Maybe in the future I will venture out, but for now we have a lot of horror to create.
Yeah, and so with your horror, how do you get into your character? Like, because there's a lot of times with horror where you're not seeing who you're fighting or who you're encounter with. How do you get into that mindset?
It's a lot of work on your own, I think. It's kind of chaotic. So I like to do a lot of that mindset preparation on my own, so I can really kind of think about it and get myself at least honed into where I want to start. You know, and then we rehearse. A lot of times just, you know, Sean and I, and Sean will rehearse with other actors. You know, as the director, he wants certain parts acted out a certain way. You know, that's something I had to work on, because when I first started with Sean, we had some pretty funny rehearsals. Because I came into this movie, you know, and it was just this angry, you know, arrogant cop, and I was way over the top. You know, I was thinking about it way too much, and I came off way over the top. And that's a funny moment that Sean and I will never forget. I know that for a fact.
Absolutely.
Like, what's involved in the stunt work in this movie?
Well, we had some beatings. We had some beatings that needed to be choreographed the right way. Blood splatters, blood pumps, things like that. And we would need to coordinate that with the actors involved to move certain ways as we were sending them off.
So you're more into the practical effects than it probably looks better.
Yes, yeah, I'm definitely a big fan of practical effects. I think that they're the way to go. I think the CGI is really good too, you know, depending on what you have in mind. But I'm a little bit more from the old school, and I'm rooted there.
Now, you said that there's a lot more projects you want to film. What's the next thing in line for you guys?
We're working on a film right now. It's kind of in its early stages right now. We're doing pre-production. We're doing primary photography for it. And we're going to be filming it throughout the rest of the year and early into the next. That's all I can really say about it right now. It does have a title, but I can't give that out yet. I'm sorry.
Gotcha. Oh, that sounds exciting, though.
Yeah.
Last question I have for both of you is, what is your favorite horror film and why?
For me, it's kind of a toss-up. I've rotated through some different interviews. I'm going to go with, this time I'm going to go with The Thing, the John Carpenter's The Thing. For me, I always thought that was just really cool and really creepy. You know, it's horror, it's sci-fi, it's got great acting. I liked the fact that the thing could be right next to you and you believe it's your friend and it's not. And I always just thought that was just totally evil and creepy. And it's something, it's personal to me as well, because I grew up, like, every time that was on TV, me and my father would stop what we're doing and watch it.
Now, my favorite horror film would be Phantasm by Don Coscarelli. I saw that when I was young, and it really twisted my mind. I like the surreal aspect of it, and I like the fact that you didn't know where it was going. I would also like to put a special light to American Psycho. Was a very big influence on me.
Well, we want to thank you guys for coming on here and talking with us tonight. We're learning so much about what you guys are doing and your passion, and we just really enjoyed talking with you.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming on, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us. It's been a blast.
Yeah, in the meantime, everyone go check out Interment.
Stay spooky.